Hello, Conrad and Lucy and Caleb. Papa's here, Spider-Man is here, and Iron Man is here. Yes, indeed. I've decided that I want to start a series on Iron Man's special stories because Iron Man had a lot of adventures on his own. And I want to tell you at least a few of them, okay? Do you think that's all right? I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoy reading them. All right, so here it is. It started off in a comic called The Tales of Suspense. And the suspenseful questions are who or what is the newest, most breathtaking, most sensational superhero of all? Who? 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 Well, it's Iron Man. He lives, he walks, he conquers. All right, this is his origin story. This is the very first Iron Man story ever. And here's a picture of Iron Man, and he's going to be born in this issue. And look at his super strength as he tears apart rocks to get to his objective. The editor says, watch his awesome approach. Listen to his ponderous footsteps as he lumbers closer, closer. For today, you are destined to encounter the invincible Iron Man. Well, first, our story starts with Tony Stark. In a secluded area somewhere in the U.S. defense perimeter, there stands a closely guarded building, the laboratory of Anthony Stark. This fella says, boy, that guy Stark must really rate to get a 24-hour guard. He rates all right. The communists would give their eye teeth to know what he's working on now. And inside, here's Tony Stark himself. General, you will see my tiny transistor increase the power of this small magnet so tremendously that it will open that locked vault. Oh, come now, Stark. That just isn't possible. Well, with Tony Stark, almost anything is possible. Think so? There, I've switched on the transistor. Click. It's energizing the magnet. So see this magnet and see its power is being increased. The door is beginning to budge. Naturally, says Stark. My tiny transistors are so powerful that they can increase the force of any device. 1,000-fold. Crack! And this tiny magnet is now so powerful that it broke open that vaulted door. Now do you believe that the transistors I've invented are capable of solving your problem in Vietnam? Stark, answers the general. After what I've just seen, I'm ready to believe anything. Yes, it was an amazing demonstration, but now let us learn more about the man whose genius made it possible. Let us learn more about Anthony Stark, the one who is fated to become Iron Man. Anthony Stark, he's rich, he's handsome, he's known as a glamorous playboy, constantly in the company of beautiful, adoring women. Look, says a blonde, there's Tony Stark. The brunette says, he's the dreamiest thing this side of Rock Hudson. And then this redhead said, the Riviera was a real drag till you showed up, darling. So they're all making a fuss over Tony Stark. Yes, Anthony Stark is both a sophisticate and a scientist, a millionaire bachelor as much as home in a laboratory as in high society. And you see him doing his experiments and then he's out on the town. But this man who seems so fortunate, who's envied by millions, is soon destined to become the most tragic figure on Earth. Our tale really has its beginning halfway around the world in a South Vietnam jungle menaced by Wong Chu, the red gorilla tyrant. He's a communist and he is in control of much of South Vietnam. Ha, says Wong Chu, I have brought another village to its knees. Now for the wrestling match. If any prisoner can defeat Wong Chu, I free the whole village. Desperate to save their village, the strongest of the natives accepts the warlord's challenge. Ah, you are good, says Wong Chu, but I am better. So he just flips him over and defeats him. And another tries in vain. I am strongest of all. Next to Wong Chu, other men are but fleas. And so he's a powerful military warlord. It is over. Now let us plunder the town, for none can stop the victorious Wong Chu. Meanwhile, on the outskirts of the jungle, the red guerrillas, that is the communist guerrillas, they're called Reds because their flag is red. They outnumber us. Our heavy artillery could beat them, but we can't transport such big weapons through the dense jungle. So, answers Stark, that's where my midget transistors come in, huh? Right. Thanks to your inventions, our mortars are no larger or heavier than flashlights. Our men can carry them anywhere. Take cover. There's the enemy. You'll see your guns in action now. That's why I was sent here, to make sure they work as well as planned. If not, I'll fix them on the spot. Just look at the Reds' retreat. Stark, your weapons are everything we hoped for. And so they're defeating the enemy and sending them out into the jungle. Battle-filled minutes later, the Reds never knew what hit them as the soldier and Tony Stark walked through the jungle. But the jungle holds 1,000 perils, some natural, others man-made. And look, this is Tony Stark's foot. He's about to trip a wire. Boom! That wire leads to disaster. It's a booby trap. Oh, poor Tony Stark. He's been attacked by a communist weapon of some kind. Minutes later, a Vietnamese enemy stands over him. Yankee civilian still alive. Maybe he is an important official of the government. I bring him to Wong Chu. Maybe I will get a reward. Oh, groans Tony Stark. Later, at the guerrilla chief's headquarters, his papers reveal he is famous Yankee weapons inventor. How is he? The other fellow says, bad. Much shrapnel near his heart. Impossible to operate. Cannot live longer than 1 week. In a few days, shrapnel will reach his heart. Then he will die. Nothing can save him. Bah, says Wong Chu. We can use his genius. Wong Chu will trick him into spending his last days on Earth working for us. Is he strong enough now? Yes, he can work until the shrapnel reaches his heart. So Wong Chu says, we know you are American weapons inventor. If you design powerful new weapon for me, afterwards I have surgeons save your life. Tony Stark thinks he's lying. If they could, they'd do it now, to be sure I live long enough to design weapons for them. He thinks more. I know I've only days to live, but my last act will be to defeat this grinning, smirking red terrorist. And he says, all right, Wong Chu, I'll do it. Wong Chu says, I knew you would not hesitate to betray your country to save yourself. Here is a room where you can work. Plenty of scrap iron, plenty of tools. This I promise you, says Stark, I shall build the most fantastic weapon of all time. Then he thinks, I'll build it all right, but it will be mine, made for only one purpose, to keep me alive. Click, and he goes through the door. Every tick of the clock brings the deadly piece of shrapnel closer to my heart. I've got to work faster than I've ever worked before. I can't afford a single mistake. And look, he's designing a weapon. He's looking at his equipment. Then on the second day of Tony Stark's race against time, here comes Wong Chu. This old one is Professor Yinsen, once a great scientist, now lowly manservant of Wong Chu. He will help you build a weapon. No, says Yinsen, I will never help the evil red tyrants. Never. Professor Yinsen, says Tony Stark, in college I read your books. You were the greatest physicist of all. Then everyone thought you had died. I'd have been better off if I had, answers Yinsen. I was pressed into slave labor by the Reds, and when I resisted, Wong Chu took me prisoner. No longer able to work in secret, Anthony Stark must reveal his plan to the aged scholar, the only human he dares to trust. He sees the plans, and he realizes that it's an Iron Man, fantastic, a mighty electronic body to keep your heart beating after the shrapnel reaches it. We just might succeed. Think what a creature we could create, what wonders he shall perform. And Tony Stark says, and the Reds themselves gave us all the materials we will need. What a great idea. But will it work? Thus, a dying man's desperate race against time continues. Stark says, I've done extensive work with transistors. I can design them in any size to perform any function. And Yinsen says, we shall use them to operate the machine electronically to move countless gears and control levers. All activity must be coordinated perfectly. The iron frame must duplicate every action of the human body. It shall, my friend, it shall. This shall be the crowning achievement of my life. And look, Yinsen is constructing the torso of Iron Man's suit. Hours pass into days as the shrapnel moves closer and closer to Anthony Stark's heart. He says, I can feel the pressure. My time is running out. We must work faster. There, answers Yinsen, the self-lubrication system is completed. Just a little longer. You must have courage. And then, when the doomed American's condition becomes critical, when he can no longer stand, Yinsen hands him the breastplate. The life-giving heart of your iron body is ready. Quickly, clamp it around your chest. There, it is done. When I activate the machine, your own amazing transistors will furnish the power to keep your heart beating. You should live as long as the iron body operates. This generator will soon build up enough energy to furnish all the power you'll need to move. But suddenly, the warning light we installed, it flashes. Someone is approaching. It must be Wong Chu. If he enters now, all our work will have been in vain, because you see the iron body has not charged up yet, and so Yinsen is going to have to stall. Wong Chu must be kept away until the mighty electronic body begins to power the heart of Anthony Stark. My life is of no consequence, but I must gain time for Iron Man to live. Then, before the Reds can enter the room, the brave Professor Yin makes one desperate last effort. He runs out into the hall. Death to Wong Chu! Death to the evil tyrant! Wong Chu says, he has gone mad. After him. End his miserable life. He is of no further use to me. So he slams the door and locks it. Then back in the lab, we read that the gallant Chinese scientist buys precious seconds for Anthony Stark while the life-sustaining machine builds up more and more power. All of this behind the locked door. Bang! The gun goes off, and we hear Wang Chu say, "It is done." Drag him away. Yinsen is dead. He's been shot by the communist tyrant. But Tony Stark thinks, "You will not have died in vain, my friend. I swear it." The Iron Man swears it. Even as Professor Yinsen breathes his last, the electronic marvel begins to stir. Look at him get up off the table. My transistors have sufficient energy now. My heart is beating normally. The machine is keeping me alive. Alive! And the transistor-powered circuits are coordinated with my brain waves, just as any living human's brain controls his own body. But I'm losing my balance. It's hard to walk in that iron suit. Thud! And he falls forward. How embarrassing. What's going to happen now? I'm like a baby learning to walk. Do y'all remember what that was like? Learning how to walk? All right? Conrad and Lucy, you've watched Caleb learning how to walk. That's what Tony Stark is going through. I haven't time, says Tony. I must learn quickly. I must get the knack of manipulating this massive, unbelievably powerful iron shell before the communists find me, or else I'll be at their mercy. But the brain which has mastered the secrets of science is also capable of mastering its new body. And so he thinks, I have the feel of it now. I can stand, move, even walk without toppling. Meanwhile, outside the locked door, Wang Chu says, break it down, smash it. I must learn what has happened in there. Wham, wham. They're coming, says Stark. This is my greatest test. Can the thing I have created survive? The thing which is less than human, yet far more than merely human. This thing which is now Anthony Stark, Iron Man. Wham! My brain still thinks, my heart still beats, but in order to remain alive, I must spend the rest of my life in this iron prison. But this bitter realization is suddenly interrupted as the Iron Man snaps back to reality, and he thinks, they'll soon be through the door. I must conceal myself until I can plan my next move. Fortunately, Yinsen and I equipped my iron body with many attachments such as these. I'll fashion these suction cups to my palms and turn on my transistor-powered air pressure jets. They work. They give me power to soar into the air. So he jumps up and see the suction cups on his hands? They don't dream of looking up here in the shadows. The Yankee is gone, says Wang Chu, and he has built us no weapons. He cannot be far. Find him and dispose of him, as you did the other who dared to defy me. Tony Stark realizes they killed the professor, a man who never harmed anyone in his life. The murdering swine. They'll pay for it. I swear it. Iron Man swears it. While you hunt down the Yankee, I shall amuse myself at my favorite sport, says Wang Chu. Then seconds after the communists depart, Iron Man thinks, yes, Wang Chu, amuse yourself while you still can, for our moment of reckoning is almost at hand. In the courtyard, he's battling his prisoners. He says, ha, I win again. The crowd hollers, none can defeat the mighty warlord. But then someone says, I say he is a coward. I challenge Wang Chu. Who dares speak thus to Wang Chu? Show yourself. Let me see the face of the one I am about to destroy. I think not. As you wish, tyrant. First I shall remove my clothes. Why do you stare, Wang Chu? What is wrong? What does Wang Chu see? He sees Iron Man. Have you never seen an Iron Man before? Well, none of us have seen Iron Man before this story was released. You are not human. You're a machine. And Iron Man answers, and you are a heartless man of evil who is about to pay for his misdeeds. Then before the startled eyes of the communist hordes, two electronically powered arms seize Wang Chu, lifting him as easily as they would a toy. You're not facing a wounded, dying man now, or an aged, gentle professor. Look, Iron Man's twirling him around in the air. This is Iron Man, who opposes you and all you stand for, and he flings Wang Chu far away. You make me lose face, hollers Wang Chu. I destroy you. Even you can be slain. Guards, open fire. Destroy Iron Man. It will take more than small arms fire to penetrate my cast iron body. Kapow! Kapow! Ba-ding! Ba-ding! These bullets just bounce off of him. So Wang Chu says, get grenades! Bring bazookas! Quickly, you fools! Quickly! But before the heavier weapons can be brought into play, Iron Man pulls out a magnet. He says, I'll just reverse the charge on this magnetic turbo insulator and use a top hat transistor to increase its repelling power 1,000-fold. So he drops in this transistor. We've already seen what a transistor can do to a magnet as it attracts. Let's see what it does when it repels. There, reverse magnetism. It works like a charm. And so his reverse magnetism sends all those explosives away from him. And the soldiers are panicked by the incredible demonstration. And so the guerrillas flee. Not ape gorillas, but soldier gorillas that hide in the jungle. Wang Chu says, stop, come back. The magnet affects only metal. Sheer manpower can still defeat him. Well, let's see if Wang Chu's manpower can defeat him. Rushing into the nearest building, Wang Chu heads for the stairs. Upstairs there is a loudspeaker, and in all this confusion and noise, they cannot hear me. I must talk over the loudspeaker. Listen, my warriors, 10,000 yen to the one who destroys Iron Man. Awk, walk, 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 bark. Iron Man says, it's an easy matter for me to create electrical interference to drown out his words with static. So whatever Wang Chu tries to say, nobody's going to hear it. All they're going to hear is static. And then to frustrate the warlord's efforts even further, Tony says, now I'll switch my own voice onto the loudspeaker. And so Iron Man says, desert, Wang Chu, flee into the jungle. Wang Chu realizes everybody's going to leave him. What is happening? Those are not my words. And Iron Man continues, none can defeat Iron Man. Flee before he slays you all. In panic and without leadership, says Iron Man, they'll soon be captured by South Vietnam troops. And now to settle with Wang Chu. Well, he's locked the door, but that won't keep me out, not Iron Man. My powerful transistor makes this miniature buzzsaw inside my index finger container outperform anything 12 times its size. Zzz. And so he uses his little fingernail just to cut a hole through the door. All right, Warlord, says Iron Man, you're finished. Come down here. You might terrify my troops, but not Wang Chu, says the tyrant. Take this, monster. So he shoves a file cabinet. Smash. It hits Iron Man. and now to order the execution of all my prisoners. And Iron Man is on the floor. He's underneath this file cabinet. He says, ugh, he weighted each door of this cabinet with rocks, so it's very heavy. But no drawer filled with rocks can hold back iron limbs powered by electronic transistors. Knowing he's defeated, Wang Chu is trying to murder all his prisoners before he's stopped. I cannot allow that. I'm free, but it took almost all my electrical power. I've got to recharge. I'm too low on energy to pursue Wang Chu, yet I can't let him get away. Wait, I have it. What's he going to do? What's his plan? He's out of electronic power. Unfastening his lubricating apparatus, the Iron Man squirts out a thin stream of oil. Look at that. The oil is going just ahead of Wang Chu. I estimated it just right. The pressure's great enough for it to reach the ammo dump. Wang Chu says, guards, guards, slay the prisoners, now. Oh, but the oil is reaching to the ammo dump. Iron Man has a little flame that he's shooting, and so the oil is a great carrier of fire. Boom! The fire hits the ammo dump, and it blows up with a terrific explosion. Boom! Seconds later, Iron Man has recharged his batteries, and then he says, I have set the prisoners free, and the communists have fled in blind panic. It's all over. Now, Professor Jensen, rest easy. You who sacrificed your life to save mine, you have been avenged. As for Iron Man, that metallic Hulk, who once was Anthony Stark, who knows what destiny awaits him, time alone will provide the answer. Time alone. And so this brings us to the end of the origin story of Iron Man. And we were introduced to Tony Stark. And there's going to be so many great Iron Man adventures ahead. I wonder what's next. Let's look and see. All right, our next adventure from the Tales of Suspense, the icy fingers of Jack Frost reaching out for Iron Man. So look, it's a villain with the power of ice. And look, we've got two new characters to meet next time. That's Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan. So this will be a great story, lots of fun, and I look forward to telling it to y'all. So I hope you're enjoying your Iron Man adventures, lots more where that came from. And so, bye-bye from Iron Man. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.